Hey guys, it's Ronald for Yahoo Southeast Asia. We're here with Das Didi, the first Indian artist to win in a performance category at Star Awards. What was it like winning the award for you?
I think that it was. I never ever saw it as like, oh, I'm going to be the first Indian for anything. I just was very happy that I got nominated, and I tried to deflect the whole feeling of whether I was going to win, because that would be quite stressful. And then eventually, when I won, I just cried my eyes out, and I was just very grateful that I even got this opportunity in the first place. And more importantly, I think I was just very introspective about it, because I worked very hard and very long for a recognition. Especially for someone like me, I've never been recognized or received any award in my adult life. So I think I'm quite grateful that MediaCorp and Star Awards gave me the opportunity to not only participate in their shows, but also to nominate and give me the honor of winning and taking home a trophy.
Did any of your friends or the cast of JustSwipe congratulate you for this award?
The fellow co-hosts of JustSwipe, they were very, very happy and very, very supportive. I think I can't ask for a better cast and crew. JustSwipe, our production team and our hosts are like a family. Like I always say that's the only place that after shoot I will still hang out and chill, because it feels like home. And also I think all of us have a very great chemistry. We understand each other so well, and it's really, really very lovely working with them. And I think my co-hosts have always understood me, and also my EP, her name is Charlene Chong. She has been very, very generous with me to give me this opportunity. Yeah.
So maybe for people who are new to you and the work that you do, right? How did you actually get into the entertainment industry?
Okay, so it was quite interesting. I started off in radio. I was doing a bit of dabbling in radio here and there, contributing to a night show on Kiss 92, that was hosted by Joshua Simon from 8 to 12 midnight. And then eventually I got opportunities to do stand-up comedy, and that was more people-facing, than radio. And then eventually I got the opportunity to join a YouTube channel called 9 Hours Cinematics, and I was exposed to short-form content and YouTube content, online content. It was a really good learning experience. And then eventually, after I left, my movie came out. So I think that is when everything became more steady, in the sense that people started recognizing the fact that I am a non-Chinese person who is able to speak Mandarin.
And I guess what was that like for you, transitioning from sort of acting or hosting for online content compared to like movies or TVs? Is there a difference in acting style?
Okay, online content is very different from acting on TV and movies, obviously. I guess because of just very basic, right? In movies, the screen is so much bigger, so your micro expressions will be noticed, and if you cannot exaggerate too much of your emotions, because it will look like you're overacting. For television, of course, you have to dial it down a bit more, and also because it's for television, it's usually a drama, so it's episodal, so stories are a lot longer. But for YouTube, it's 10 minutes, so you have to try your best to engage your audience in that 10 minutes. And I mean, short form content equals to short attention as well. So our intention throughout is to ensure that our audience and viewers stay engaged before they click on the suggested videos on the site, right? I mean, that's what we do, right? After a while, we find something boring, we either go to the search bar and look for something else, or we get distracted by the suggestion bar. Yeah.
How did you actually land the JustSwipe gig?
Okay, the JustSwipe gig was very interesting. What happened was, I finished the movie and I was very free and I absolutely had no jobs. And then I was available to do all the promotional content that was required for the movie. And one of the opportunities that I got was to promote my movie in this show called JustSwipe. This show was very cute, and then we all sat down and ate hot pot with Xiang Yunjie and also the actor Lawrence Wong. And there was a host there, and I was just there doing my thing, cracking jokes whenever I felt like the opportunity arose. And the following week, the EP asked me to host this show, and I was like, are you sure? It's a Mandarin show and it's full on Mandarin. I mean, like we don't really do like bilingual content. I mean, occasionally we drop a bit of English words if my Chinese vocabulary doesn't allow me to complete the entire sentence in Mandarin. I will mix in a bit of English, but it's majority in Mandarin. So I think that was quite a challenge in that sense. But the grand scheme of things, I think. JustSwipe gave me the confidence, and also I think it threw me to the deep end in a sense where, okay, this is a show, you got a script, you need to go and do it, and then I did it. And also I think the crew and the directors are so supportive and understanding, because obviously my Mandarin is definitely not as good as the other hosts, so I'm very grateful to them, and that's how it all started. Yeah, and I guess the cliche is the rest is history. Yeah.
Were there like things you had to do to sort of prepare for the show hosting in Mandarin, right?
I think the things I usually do is the moment I would read the script, like I said, obviously I have to read the script and it's entirely in Chinese. It will take me slightly longer than my fellow co-host, not slightly longer, like very much longer than my fellow co-hosts. And then I will have to digest the script and roughly understand what I'm supposed to do and the background of that show. For example, if I'm interviewing a celebrity, obviously I need to understand who the celebrity is, what their recent projects are, what they've done in the past, anything interesting that happened in their life that we can talk about, and also what future projects they are intending to do. So those are the kind of background things that we have. But mostly, sometimes when I read through the script, I already have some jokes that I want to say in mind, so at least I can prepare, if required, the vocabulary for it, or I can possibly maybe just make sure that I know the important terms that I have to say in Mandarin, because if I know that a specific term is going to be repeated over and over again, I have to make sure that I'm prepared and I need to remember. So, but also at the same time, sometimes off the cuff, if I want to make any statement or a joke or whatever, I have always been given the liberty to do it, because that is the concept of the show, they really give us free rein to do as much as we want. Obviously, the video is only 10 minutes, so they can only include 10 minutes of whatever we have done. But most of the time, I thoroughly enjoy the edit because all my jokes make the cut. Yeah.
And was it ever your intention to sort of dabble into, I guess, the Mandarin market? Or was it ever did you see yourself actually dabbling in the Mandarin market?
Yeah, so when I first learned Mandarin and like people knew that I was able to speak Mandarin, and before I joined the industry, a lot of people told me, hey, I think it'd be a good opportunity for you to go to China now and start a business, because the market is very big. The Chinese economy was booming. But then when I got into this industry, I was doing YouTube, and I was mostly the guy who had this party trick, the guy who can speak this another language. And eventually, when I joined mainstream media, jobs started flowing in from this one direction of Chinese mainstream media, along with, of course, I still do my social content and other stuff as well. But for the past year, it has been a lot of Chinese content, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm also very open to other shows that require me to speak a different language. Like if it's a Malay show or a Tamil show, or even an English show, I'm very, very open to doing it.
Okay. So from what I know, I guess content creation, the scene here, the industry here is really competitive, right? So how do you sort of stay ahead? How do you stay competitive?
I sometimes do feel like I do fall behind, because I have to juggle my mainstream media work and my social media work as well. So, but at the end of the day, I think I'm still very happy, because I don't think it's the competition that is the issue. I think it's more of you need to find your own little space in this world of social media. So you can't be the other social media content creator. You have to be yourself and create that little space. So people know that the moment they come to your page, they are probably going to expect a specific brand of content. In my case, it's probably like humor and jokes. And I mean, in other case, maybe it could be makeup, fashion, I don't know, cooking, baking. It could be a lot of things. And social media is really, really very diverse in that sense. So it's not so much about keeping up to date. It's more about like understanding and finding a space within the community.
If you could describe Das's space, how would you describe it?
I think it's very I'd like to think it's very funny, because like in my mind it's funny, and I guess when I post and I read the comments, most of the time I guess the viewers or followers agree with me, and I think humor to me is a very noble thing, because you actually give someone a break from their day. I try not to be controversial or make a political stance, not because I I feel that there's anything wrong with it. I think I just feel like I'm good at this comedy thing. I just stay in my lane and do what I know how to do, and I try my best as well. There are days where I have no content, I experience burnout. There are days where I feel very inspired. So yeah, every day is different.
Okay. And you mentioned that most of your content is comedic, right? So will you ever consider taking up more serious acting roles, more dramatic roles?
I have taken serious acting roles, um, and I always love the challenge of taking serious acting roles. So I would never say that I'm a comedian and I only do funny things. But I mean, although I feel like I enjoy doing funny things, I think doing serious roles are fun as well. It's a challenge, and also what's more important is that you make the best out of every role that's given to you and try to make sure that you do the character justice. And sometimes acting is also very multidimensional in the sense where you have to be this completely different person with a completely different everything. And sometimes your director will feel like your interpretation of what the role should be is different from his, and that's when it gets interesting because you start to discuss. Whereas comedy is something that I feel is very subjective as well, because what I find funny may not be what someone else finds funny. So, but then I guess I just have a small group of people who find me remotely entertaining, and I'm very grateful for that as well.
So I think I read past interviews, you said that you mentioned that Kumar was one of the people you look up to, right? So now, has that changed for you? Are there more people you look up to, other actors or other artists that you look up to?
I feel like the reason why I respect Kumar, other than the fact that he has been a long-standing stand-up comedian, he is funny, entertaining, and all that, but he is one person who does not require social media. He doesn't have to create social media content every day to remind people that he's funny. All he has to do, anywhere Kumar decides to perform, it will be full house. And I think like in this day and age where we all like try to promote our work on social media and try to pay money to boost it into an ad and all that, he really doesn't need it. And I think that is what I like, because he connects with people, and also I think his audience are multi-generational. It's really regardless of race, language, or religion. I mean, like language, maybe like they have to understand English, but for the most of it, he is really, really very authentic. And also what makes him so special is that he's very relatable. So his jokes are very Singapore sentinel, and his audience are Singaporeans. Most of the time, I'm sure he performs overseas as well, but I do find him really relatable. And no one can go to his show and say, I don't understand what jokes he's cracking, because, I mean, as long as you've lived a certain number of years in Singapore, you know what he's talking about.
So for you, I guess the whirlwind of everything, right? Or even working in this industry, sometimes it's high stress, right? So how do you sort of keep your mental health in check? How do you ground yourself? Are there things you do to sort of prep yourself before a role?
I think, to be fair, I think every industry has its own stresses, and I think stress is part and parcel of the hustle life. But what is very important is I think I have given myself room to play, which means like I try to do a lot of like this work-life balance thing, which is sometimes very hard. Like for example, if let's say I finish work at 9 o'clock that day, and my friends ask me out, I'll ask myself if I want to go out, and if I do, I'll try to go and just escape from your mind sometimes. You're just escaping not from work, but you're escaping from sort of yourself and your thoughts. And I think having different perspectives and hanging out with a bunch of positive people can renew your energy and remind you that, hey, actually, I was quite tired today. I came out. Maybe I shouldn't have stayed so long, but I thoroughly enjoyed my life and my day. And also sometimes I think this third thing that I recently adopted, I don't know if it comes with age or whatever, I don't want to sound very old, but I think that I have always, recently, not always, but recently I don't allow my plans to revolve around other people. So if I want to go out and I want to go to this restaurant, whether or not anybody is coming with me, I'll go. I will go alone. I feel secure enough to go and watch a movie alone, go and I guess eat or have drinks or whatever on my own. And I think that is very important because it's very freeing. When you say, like for example, if I ask you out, I say, I feel like eating at this restaurant today. Ron, are you free? Then Ron is not free. Then I text all the other people, everyone's not free. Then I feel sad. Oh, nobody wants to go out with me. But technically, you can just still go, Yeah, so I try not to put too many restrictions on your life, and make sure that everything is healthy, and also like I mean, once you obviously, enjoyment sometimes requires a certain amount of money, right? So I think I allow myself to spend a little just to take care of myself, and I think it has become very freeing the moment your plans are not incumbent on others, and stuff like that. If I want to do, for example, there are times where, I mean, like, I'm not saying I'm not recommending this to everybody, but I feel like there are times where I feel like I have a free weekend, I've got nothing to do, and I look at the flights, they are cheap, I will just fly. Yeah. So those are the kind of things that I do. I mean, don't do these kind of things impulsively when you know, make sure that you have enough funds to do it. But allow yourself to make decisions without caring about who's available to hang out with you. That's really freeing.
Was there anything recently that you bought as a treat for yourself? Like a yeah.
Oh, I buy a lot. I don't. Okay, so I don't buy a lot of clothes. I repeat my outfits all the time. It's not like I'm any like Mark Zuckerberg or anything. I'm nothing close. But like, I think like, even my colleague who works with me, he says like, can you stop wearing the same shirt? And then for my birthday, he felt so bad for me that he bought me clothes, and I still haven't worn it. But I treat myself to food. So it's something that I really enjoyed, because when before I started earning money, I always like think twice before I go to a restaurant. I'll be like, maybe expensive, let's go somewhere else. But now that I'm working, I do indulge in food, and yeah, so that's where most of my expenses go to, in a sense.
So do you have any comfort foods that you always go to?
Okay, for comfort foods, I mean, I love carbs, so I love my breads. I love bread talk. Like I rarely actually walk past bread talk. I always have to make a detour to bread talk before I leave, and splurge foods, not very. I do this splurge actually once a week. Okay, which is quite a lot. I like Haidilao. Yeah, so that's
Is
very
there
intense.
anything in Haidilao you order always?
I always order. Okay, I think a lot of people like to go there and order meats. I'm more of a seafood person, so I just go there and order seafood, and I go there alone very often. So I just go there alone, and then I just order one soup base instead of four, and it's cheaper. I cook my own food and I watch Netflix.
So far for you, has there been any sort of interesting fan stories or like people coming up to you and just after the award, even before that, in your work that you do?
Okay, to be fair, like after the award, I have not technically like gone out in public and like said hello world. I've not taken. I mean, it's been only 2 days, so I've not like taken MRT or like been in a shopping mall for me to feel, experience the intensity of what's happening. But at the same time, I feel like prior to this, I think I'm very grateful when people tell me that they're having a very bad day and they watch my video or they saw something that I've done and then it made them smile or laugh and stuff like that. I think that's the purpose of what I do, and that's why I wake up every day and try to do what I do, is just to make sure that someone out there watches this and it made the day.
So after winning the award, there's been some comparisons online between you and Gurmit Singh, right? So how do you feel about this comparison?
I think it's very flattering that you are comparing me to a legend. I mean, like, Phua Chu Kang was what we all used to watch. But actually, Gurmit Singh won for the popularity award, and I mean, Gurmit Singh at his time was the first Indian to win for the entire Star Awards. So now that I have won an award, so I'll be the first Indian that won for the best performance category. So that's the difference. And I mean, if like, people are comparing me to Gurmit Singh, like, Gurmit Singh, why don't you just give me a call and we can hang out and talk about it? Because it would be my honor, and I'm such a fan. So I mean, you compare me to good people, great people. Yeah, I'm flattered. Yeah.
I think just on social media, I realized also you're quite close to Jungko Bings' family, right? Or even his entire family, right? So how did that happen? Are you good? Like yeah.
I think I'm very grateful because I shot this show called Camel Kakis, which is currently on Netflix. Please go and watch it. And I shot it with Tay Ying, and then obviously I don't know. I think whenever I'm around her, I felt very comfortable, and I feel like she's like my sister, and I was very clingy. And then at one point she was like, okay, this guy is never gonna get off my back. Let me just invite him to my house. So I met the family for dinner, and it was just so nice when I was making my first entrance into Chinese media to meet veterans who have been there, done that. And I think they were very welcoming and always very supportive. And I mean, father, mother, brother, sister, all very nice people. So I think at that call, I think whenever like people ask me like, oh, why, how do you meet them and stuff like that, I also ask myself, and then I just realized that because they're just very friendly people, if not, and whatever they are doing, while they may be very passionate about it, it's just their job, and they're just very ordinary people that likes to laugh, likes to joke, loves their job, and I am very grateful for their friendship.
Great. Last question. What's next for you, or anything lined up for you, or anything that you want to work on, any projects?
So recently I signed as an exclusive talent to SGAG. So so they have creators, so I'm like an artist that they have signed on. So I guess it's a bit different. And they have been already, taking care of me. I only signed on 1st April, and like 7, 8, 9 April was already like the whole award season, and within 9 days that I was there, I think I won an award. So I think I made them really busy. But I am very grateful because I think they really understand their audience very well, and I wanted to do more social media because I think that deep inside that is the bedrock of who I really am as an artist. So I think they are the ones who are the most equipped to support me in that. And on top of that, I feel like being a freelancer for a while got a bit lonely. So I wanted the sense of community that SGAX provided as well. And also, of course, they are a big company, they have great connections, and I guess I just wanted to be part of that.
Cool. Thanks, Das.
Thank you very much.
So that's a wrap on the interview with Das Didi. He shared so much deeds about what's next in his journey, in his whole acting career. Stay tuned for more.